6,080 pounds, a truly half-ton towable Wildwood fifth wheel coming in on trade here at Haylett RV. This would make a very good, like, first-timer starter family fifth wheel bunkhouse right here. Due to the fact that it's old enough, it's had some issues in the past, it's had several leaks in the past that have been professionally repaired, and we're going to show those to you as we go. We don't hide things here at Haylett RV, but it's in perfectly fine functional shape today. Is it the prettiest bell at the ball? No, but it's also not the heaviest or most expensive, and this would be an awesome little first-timers rig where for, what, less than 5 or 6 grand, whatever it's going to be, you know, you could learn the ropes before moving up into the big fifth wheel or trailer of your dreams, and there's always that small outside chance you won't enjoy camping like most folks do. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes it does happen. This is a good way, like, it's old enough, it's basically worth what it's worth. As long as you take care of it, you're not going to have those big scary depreciations. Previous owners went through, and they did upgrade to the nice newer MORryde steps. They probably got between $250 to $350 wrapped up in those right there, so that's pretty darn cool. And if you're not interested in those, you could always just take them off because the old steps are still below them. Let's step inside. So right as you walk in the door, this one has the kitchen right in your face, which is not common anymore. This is a classic floor plan, not really produced very commonly now. Just a simple sofa slide out. Normally I would have the slide closed and give you a quick view of that, but the slide out in this is only like 12 inches deep, and there's like 3 feet right here. So it's pretty obvious that this one remains fully accessible. You don't even need to run the slide out in transit. It's just that it makes it nice when you get there. Now, I said a very big scary word right away, and I don't mind that I said it. I don't hide things here at Haylett RV. We represent RVs fairly, and that was the 4-letter word that every RV fears: leak. It had several areas. So the history of this RV, the best way I can describe it, is it a bad camper right now? No. Is it well maintained? More recently, yes. Historically, not always. So what do I mean by that? Well, up here above the slide, you can see how this like little trim has popped down here, and you can obviously see where there has been some water penetration here, because maybe it's not translating well to video, but it's very obvious in person. Now, above the rear bunks, there's a similar area right about there, where once again, it's not extreme, but you can kind of see it's there. And then I don't know if there was a leak here in the bathroom, and there's not a skylight for lighting, so hold on just a second. We've got the technology, thankfully. But if you look at this is the original roof panel, and you can see a little bit of waviness there. But when we get above the shower, you see that there's actually like a plastic roof panel right here and fresh screws. This is not factory work. Someone else must have put this up, and you can see some sealant there. But here's the thing, guys. Like, has it had a leak? Yeah, absolutely. It certainly has. I haven't hidden that whatsoever. But did they leave it that way? No. Somebody spent some pretty good money on this RV, putting it back into decent shape and working order. So hopefully that gives you, like I said, that's what makes me think if this was a fixer-upper handyman special, I'd have told you right off the bat, and I'd have said first-timers, people who are not good with wrenches and things, you better stay away from this camper. I'm not saying that here. Point of fact, I think it's actually a very good option for first-timers because of the lower price point, and you don't necessarily need to go neck deep on a 3/4-ton truck to tow something like this. It's a fine first-timers rig. Now, right here by the entry door, and really this is part of the kitchen, you have this huge closet and drawer array right here. So now, it's old enough and it's had enough stuff in it that sometimes some of the drawers are a little kitty wampus. They want to open a little crooked or whatever, but the fact is, at the end of the day, they still work. They're still drawers. You can still put stuff in them. It's okay. It's not ideal, but at the same time, it's also not a $30,000 fifth wheel. There is some storage below the dinette, like you can see in that drawer there. Now, both the sofa and the dinette will fold down. I don't know this for certain. I haven't inquired with the original salesperson, but there's a chance that maybe these folks had a dog or something, and that's why they put this on there. Either that, or they just really didn't like the original floral print of the sofa, so they put a different floral print cover on the sofa. I don't know what the case is. This was made before we needed 50-inch flat screen TVs. If you want to put a little TV in it, there's a little hutch up there. And look at that old cassette player. Yeah, baby. That's, you know, I remember the day I had an old Teddy Ruxpin, and you put the tapes in the back, and it told you a story, and he, you know, his mouth moved like he talked. And then I realized the day I could put a Guns N' Roses tape that my brother had in there, and that's the day I learned to love rock and roll. Thank you, Guns N' Roses. Anyway, so instead of double over double bunks, which are very common today, similar floor plans exist today, not identical, but we've got the single over single bunks. But what that allows for is this little extra space here where the kids can get dressed and they have their own storage right there. And did you notice the previous owners put a ladder in here, and they were also kind enough to leave it behind? All they did was swap up to a bigger, newer, better bunkhouse, basically, newer fifth wheel. That's the only reason she's here. So this is a split bathroom. So your bathroom mirror and your sink are actually outside of the bathroom door. What's nice about that is it allows to have, like, you can get two kids ready for bed at the same time, because one of the kids could be using the potty or taking a bath or a shower or whatever, and then the other kid can actually be brushing their teeth. So whether you're getting up in the morning or leaving at night, you can move a little quicker here. Now, typically this isn't something that you would see in a lot of Wildwoods today, but I believe someone went through aftermarket and replaced the fan with a bigger max air vent fan, because if you notice, the fan housing is like a cream color and not the white ceiling panel like the rest of it. So I think that's another one of those aftermarket upgrades, like the steps that somebody put in here. Not a big floor plan, but big enough for a small family on a drizzly, crappy, rainy day. You know, on a day like this, it's not a hard rain. You'd still be able to spend some time under the awning. I think you'd be all right. So the kitchenette, again, it's up in that corner. It looks kind of small, but remember, you've got all that storage. It could also be pantry space over here as well. Coming around the corner, as far as I know, all of our appliances and everything are actually in good working order. Now, on a used RV like this, especially anything that's had some of the potentially scary history that this RV has had, we are very realistic folks here at Haylett RV, because more than half of us are actual campers and RVers ourselves. What I'm getting at here is, before you take this home, we have no... That's a updated replacement microwave, too. That's not the original microwave, but they did get an RV microwave that fits in the proper slot, so good for them. Anyway, what I was saying is, before you take something like this home, we want to earn your business and confidence. And if that means we need to pull it up to the building, we have to hook it up to power, water, we have to put some propane tanks on it, we'll do it. You know, we'll make sure that you get to see what this RV is and what it is not before you hand us your paycheck. Now, just like in the bathroom, it looks like there was a ceiling panel replaced above the bed here. And what I suspect happened with this RV is that someone let it fall into a state of disrepair. And then there are people who will buy cheap RVs. Like, we had a Coachman Big Royale come in yesterday. It was rough, and it had some challenges, and it needed some love. And we had it on our website for about 5 seconds, and somebody bought it with the intention of doing some basic fixes, cleaning it, and flipping it. And I think that's what happened here. Somebody bought this, they went through, they resealed the dickens out of the exterior, they replaced some of the worst damaged ceiling panels, some things that were really bad and needed replacement, and they flipped it. And some folks bought it as their first-time camper, went out, used it a little bit, had a good time, and decided, yeah, we like this, we could do this, we could go bigger. So I think this one kind of got a second chance at life. Is it everything that it ever was or could be? No. But is it anything to be scared of or ashamed of? I don't think so. Now, it's kind of rainy, so we're going to make a very brief whip around the outside here today. So like I said, someone has gone through this and just resealed the dickens out of the exterior. All the exterior seals, you can see some very heavy-handed sealant applied to it, and that's obviously there to, you know, arrest anything that was happening and prevent it from happening further. Now, something of this age, even though it has kind of been given that second chance at life that I mentioned, you're going to want to be really on top of your care and your maintenance, because an older RV like this, the structure has just been stressed quite a bit over, you know, years of towing. You have to make sure that you do maybe more than a one time a year, like seal and seam checkup. Tires look good though. I don't know if somebody replaced those tires, but those tires are not the original factory tires. Those things are certainly have quite a bit of rubber. So, like, here's a good example. Is this pretty? Oh God, no. No, this is not a pretty seal job, but the fact is, it's effective. The fact is, that corner is no longer leaking where it once might have. Well, certainly did. Not might have, but certainly did. So, you know, again, this is a function over fashion camper. And you're not paying high fashion money. This is absolutely a good entry-level price point. If what you're looking for is that, like, hey, I'm looking for a cheap little hunting shack for me and my buddies to run around, or if you're looking for just an inexpensive thing to start camping before you go neck deep on a brand new one, this is an awesome option. Because pretty much, I mean, short of the taxes, you never get your tax money back, but basically whatever you pay for in this camper, if you take care of it, it's pretty much always going to be worth just about that. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone. Stay dry.